Think you've seen the full version of your favorite horror films? Think again. Some horror movies were never meant to be whole. Somewhere between the editing room and the projection booth, reels disappeared, scenes vanished, and original cuts were locked away, perhaps forever. What remains are films that feel fractured, haunted not only by their stories but by the ghosts of what's missing. Gaps in narrative, sudden cuts, moments that seem to build towards something that never comes. Cinephiles have long whispered about the lost footage clips that appeared in trailers but never made it to theaters. Production stills that hint at scenes no one's ever seen, or lobby posters depicting moments completely absent from the final cut. Sometimes it was censorship, sometimes studio interference. Other times, the reason is far more obscure. The truth, in most cases, no one really knows. Tonight, we're not just watching horror, we're searching for it. This list explores 15 horror films with missing reels, lost scenes, and unfinished versions. Each one leaves behind questions no one can answer. Questions like, what did they really cut? And why? You may think you've watched these films, but you've only seen their shadows. Let's dive into the darkness one missing frame at a time. Hasson, The Demons, 1973. Witch hunts, torture, possession, but the reel that shocked Europe never reached America. Jess Franco's The Demons is a controversial nunsploitation film filled with religious imagery, sexual violence, and surreal horror. Released in various countries with wildly different runtimes, the film remains one of the most heavily censored entries in Franco's career. The most infamous lost scene? A 3-minute public execution involving fire, screams, and a demonic vision mid-burning. Included in early European prints, it was removed entirely for US distribution, considered too blasphemous and too explicit. Only a few seconds survive in a degraded bootleg. The full reel, rumored to have been cut and discarded by a French distributor in 1974. To this day, it's never been recovered. Some demons hide in the shadows. Others are buried in lost celluloid, never to be seen again. #2. Boarding House, 1982. The first shot on video horror to hit theaters. But even in analog, it left a piece behind. Boarding House is infamous. A micro-budget, supernatural slasher about a mansion plagued by psychic forces. It's chaotic, weirdly edited, and unlike anything else from the 80 seconds VHS boom. Yet the earliest VHS release ran nearly 2 hours and included scenes of telekinetic meltdown, dream sequences, and a more explicit ending. Later versions were cut down to streamline pacing, but no uncut master print has surfaced since. Some of the missing footage appears in rare TV promos, but not the full scenes. Director John Wintergate insists the complete version still exists somewhere, but no collector, archive, or label has recovered it. Sometimes, what's buried under magnetic tape stays buried forever. #3. Night Warning, 1982. He loved his aunt, she loved him too much, and somewhere, a darker version of their story is still locked away. Night Warning, also released as Butcher, Baker, Nightmare Maker, is a chilling tale of familial obsession and psychological decay. It pushes boundaries of sexuality, violence, and taboo, and was once even banned in certain US states. But the version we know today is shorter than the original. A full cut screened only once, according to a 1982 Fangoria article, contained an extended flashback sequence revealing the aunt's disturbed childhood. Set in a burned-down church and filmed in sepia tone, it was meant to reframe the entire narrative. Censors reportedly objected to its religious imagery. The sequence was cut. The negative? Misfiled, or possibly destroyed. No copies remain. The scariest pasts are the ones someone didn't want you to remember. #4. Beyond the Door, 1974. Possession, obsession, and a trailer filled with things the film never dares show. Marketed as Italy's answer to The Exorcist, Beyond the Door dives into demonic possession, complete with levitations, convulsions, and vomiting. It's chaotic, sleazy, and sometimes incoherent but strangely unforgettable. What haunts horror fans, however, is the trailer. It includes several shots of the possessed woman clawing at her own skin, bleeding from her eyes, and floating upside down in a staircase vortex, none of which appear in the final film. Were they alternate takes, deleted scenes, or simply faked for marketing shock? Even more bizarre, international versions vary wildly in content and tone. Some scenes only exist in the Japanese VHS. Others were likely destroyed when prints were shortened for American theaters. Not all possession films hide the devil. Some hide what the devil made them cut. #5. Don't go in the house. 1979. He hears voices, he sees fire, and one vision filmed and finished was incinerated before release. A deeply disturbing film about a man who incinerates women in a specially designed steel room, Don't Go in the House, is remembered for its brutal imagery and chilling atmosphere. But even the final cut was too sanitized for some fans. Early reviews from regional screenings reference a surreal hallucination sequence in which the killer sees his victims walking through fire, silent, charred, accusing. It was said to last nearly 3 minutes, combining slow motion and layered audio whispers. The scene was praised for its nightmarish power, yet in every known version, that sequence is gone. Some say it was removed to appease censors. Others claim it caused walkouts during test runs. Even the director admitted in an interview, "I'm not sure where that reel ended up. When horror burns too brightly, sometimes it's extinguished before the world can see it." #6. The Being. 1983. There's something toxic in the water, and something toxic was scrubbed from the film, too. Set in a town poisoned by illegal chemical dumping, The Being unleashes a mutant creature born from radiation, sludge, and rage. The film is bizarre and uneven, switching tones mid-scene, but one mystery persists: a horrifying transformation sequence that's been lost to time. According to crew interviews, the lead character was originally meant to witness a man dissolve alive, his body melting into a puddle while screaming. The scene was reportedly so gruesome, even the test audience gasped audibly. It was cut just days before distribution. The reels containing it? Misplaced, possibly destroyed. The final film replaces the moment with a fade to black. No explanation, just silence where horror once lived. Radioactive waste isn't the only thing that vanishes without a trace. #7. Evils of the Night. 1985. Aliens, teenagers, a lakeside hospital, and one graveyard scene that's missing from this planet. In this sci-fi horror oddball, alien scientists harvest blood from abducted teens to prolong their lives. The tone is sleazy, the performance is wooden, and yet, it holds a strange VHS-era charm. But there's a phantom scene, an opening prologue set in a fog-covered cemetery, described in early marketing materials and reportedly shot in a single overnight session. Makeup artist Kenneth Hall confirmed it featured skeletal corpses reanimating under starlight, setting up the alien theme as an ancient cosmic plague. It was scrapped before the premiere. "Too confusing," said producers. "Too expensive to finish. And now, no footage, no screenshots, just faded memories and an eerie sense of absence. Sometimes, it's not the aliens that vanish, it's the very proof they were ever here." #8. The Severed Arm. 1973. They cut off his arm to survive. He came back for revenge. But what if a piece of the film was cut off too? This slow-burn slasher tells of a man mutilated and left for dead who returns years later, one severed limb at a time. The kills are inventive, the pacing methodical, but something doesn't quite add up. Storyboard fragments and early script drafts suggest the film originally featured 2 additional victims, each meant to die in uniquely cruel ways. Yet in the final version, they're gone. Their characters appear briefly, then vanish entirely without explanation. Some believe their deaths were shot and removed for time. Others say they were never filmed at all. But archived cast lists include 2 credited characters who don't appear in any known copy. It's as if the reel itself was dismembered. When revenge is interrupted, what else gets left on the cutting room floor? #9. Kathy's Curse. 1977. Her eyes burn with hatred. Her doll whispers in tongues. And somewhere, a reel screams in silence. Kathy's Curse follows a young girl possessed by the spirit of a vengeful ancestor, unraveling her family through telekinetic rage. The film is a surreal descent into madness, filled with disjointed edits, looping dialogue, and eerie silences that feel unintentional. Collectors of rare VHS tapes have long claimed to possess a longer version, one that includes a fiery confrontation between Kathy and her mother where a cursed doll is set ablaze while whispering in reverse. Yet that moment is nowhere in any known release. It's referenced in an obscure French-language promo, and a few lobby cards show scorched walls, but no footage survives. Was it an alternate cut, a regional version, or a fabrication from the fever dreams this film induces? In a movie already fractured by insanity, missing scenes only deepen the nightmare. Hassan Zero, The Curse of the Screaming Dead. 1982. Civil War corpses rise from their graves, but one brutal scene was buried before the dead even walked. This zombie oddity follows a group of modern-day friends who stumble upon cursed Confederate graves unleashing the vengeful undead. Gritty, grainy, and filled with practical gore, it has all the makings of a grindhouse relic. Yet longtime fans know something's missing. Director Tony Malinowski once claimed that a graphic dismemberment in motion sequence was fully shot, featuring a soldier's reanimated corpse tearing off a victim's limbs in one continuous take. The effect reportedly took weeks to design and was ultimately removed due to distributor fear of backlash. The scene isn't just absent from the final film, it's gone entirely. No behind-the-scenes footage, no raw tape. Even the original actor in the scene claims he never saw it completed. Some say it was too violent. Others say it simply didn't work. But maybe it worked too well. Not all scenes are cut because they fail. Some are cut because they succeed too viscerally. Known, The Outing, 1987, aka The Lamp, a cursed lamp, a museum overnight. But the real disappearance lies between the reels. In The Outing, a group of teens sneaks into a museum where an ancient Persian lamp unleashes a malevolent genie. The setup is simple, the kills are brutal. But the original cut? That's where the mystery begins. A rumored workprint version ran over 100 minutes, nearly 20 minutes longer than the final VHS release. Early viewers at test screenings recalled scenes of possession, an extended sequence inside the storage archives, and a different, far more nihilistic ending. To this day, that version has never resurfaced. Oddly, several stills used in promotional materials feature frames and angles never seen in the finished film. One photo shows a character screaming as her eyes bleed, a moment that doesn't appear in any surviving copy. Did the studio censor it? Did reels get lost? Or was the film rewritten mid-production, the original vision left to rot? Sometimes, what's locked inside the lamp is a version of the film we'll never see. 2. The Day Time Ended, 1979. Time folds, dimensions blur, but the footage? That's what really disappeared. This low-budget sci-fi horror hybrid tells of a family trapped in an isolated desert home, where mysterious cosmic forces begin warping time and space around them. Glowing pyramids appear, alien creatures flicker into view. The film spirals into psychedelic madness, but if you've seen the theatrical version, you've only witnessed half the chaos. The original trailer teased multiple elaborate stop-motion monsters, creatures never seen in the final cut. Interviews with the effects team confirmed they designed full sequences involving interdimensional battles and hallucinations inside a shifting time vortex. They were shot, but vanished before release. Speculation suggests budget issues forced producers to slice the film down, but no one knows where the footage went. Even in recent restorations, the missing scenes remain lost, existing only in storyboards and fan recollections. When a film distorts time, maybe the missing scenes never existed here to begin with. 3. The Child, 1977. She whispers to the dead and they listen, but one scene they answered never made it to screen. In The Child, a strange little girl with telekinetic powers uses the undead to punish those who wrong her. The film is eerie, fragmented, and drenched in decayed 70 seconds atmosphere. But perhaps what makes it most unsettling is what's absent. Theatrical posters feature a haunting image, the girl standing calmly as flames consume a man behind her, arms raised in silent agony. It's a powerful visual, except it never happens in the movie. No fire, no immolation, no such scene at all. Fans have speculated wildly. Was it a staged promo shot? A deleted ending? A special effect gone wrong and scrapped? The studio never commented. The filmmakers have gone silent, and the girl on the poster still stares, as if daring you to find what's lost. Some horror films bury their secrets in shadows. Others burn them to ash before anyone can see. 4. Scream Bloody Murder, 1973. He kills with a hook where his hand used to be. But something's missing from his story, too. Scream Bloody Murder follows a psychotic young man who, after a childhood accident, spirals into madness and begins murdering anyone who comes too close. The film oozes sleaze and low-budget grime. But beneath the gore lies a mystery that hardcore horror fans have obsessed over for decades. Production stills and fanzine interviews from the mid-70 seconds mention a gruesome extended scene in which the killer tortures a victim using a rusty meat grinder. Some early VHS covers even feature a shot that doesn't exist in any known version of the film, a blood-spattered room lit entirely by candlelight. the killer grinning as shadows dance on the walls. The director later hinted in a rare interview that several minutes of footage were removed due to distributor pressure. But the negatives? Gone. No archival trace. No known test screenings. It's as if the footage was never meant to be found. Sometimes the most disturbing cuts are the ones the censors never warned you about. Hasson 5, Messiah of Evil, 1973. The tide rolls in, the moon turns red, and the sea devours. Set in a decaying seaside town haunted by whispers of a blood moon cult, Messiah of Evil tells the story of a woman searching for her missing father, only to find that he may have become something inhuman. The film bathes in surreal dread. Strangers stare blankly under flickering lights, supermarkets morph into tombs, and voices echo from beneath the floorboards. But what truly haunts this film isn't on screen, it's what's missing. Early production notes reference an extended beach massacre scene, described in interviews and suggested in promotional stills. It supposedly depicted blood-drenched figures emerging from the sea, devouring their victims in silence under the crimson sky. The footage, once thought to be included, is nowhere to be found in any existing cut. No explanation, no trace. Even stranger, some lobby cards show frames that never appear in the final film, leaving fans wondering, was the reel lost or buried? In Messiah of Evil, the horror isn't just what you see, it's what you were never allowed to. Bonus pick. Possession, 1981. Before we wrap, here's one more horror film you need to add to your list. Possession is many things: psychological horror, political allegory, surreal love story, but above all, it's disturbing. Isabelle Adjani gives one of the most intense performances in cinema history, portraying a woman unraveling in ways both emotional and grotesquely physical. But what most don't know is that Possession exists in multiple versions, and one of them is incomplete by design. When the film was released in the US, it was brutally cut down from 124 minutes to just 81. The result was disjointed, almost incoherent, yet still haunting. Entire subplots, character arcs, and transitions were lost. A subway sequence that once spiraled into Lovecraftian madness was trimmed into a mere shriek and fade. A climactic reveal became nonsensical. Even with restored versions available today, rumors persist about a longer early cut screened only once at a German festival, containing surreal intercuts between real war footage and scenes of the creature evolving. No known copy of that version survives. Even the director, Andrzej Żuławski, refused to confirm its existence in his final interviews. Some films are edited for clarity. This one, it was edited to survive. If fragments of horror like these still haunt your mind, you're not alone. The stories we can't fully see often linger the longest. So if you find comfort in the unsettling and curiosity in the incomplete, this is only the beginning. We're just getting started. More vanished scenes, more forbidden reels, more truths buried in film cans and fog. Join us again, there's far more horror waiting, just out of frame.